Hi, today we're making a video about our deep freeze syringe, which is the world's only freezable spore syringe. I've been saving this syringe since March 16th of 2007. It's a spore syringe that's been in freezing temperatures for that long, and today we're gonna test the viability of a spore syringe that's been frozen that many years. So I believe that's 5 years, almost 6 years, or over 6 years. We're going to pretty much take it out of here. It's got a nice little spot right there. So as you can see, the date on it's 3/16/07, and it's the freezable type. Oh, can you get that? Yeah?
I think so.
Okay. Alright, now we're gonna test it for viability. Alright. This spore syringe is thawed out a little bit. It's just room temperature. As you can see, as it thaws out, the spores get concentrated in one area. So what you have to do is actually break it up with the bubble. And there's several ways to do that. Just move it up and down, or be more aggressive, like that. Bring the bubble up and then shake it, or hit it against your hand or even the table, and then try to disperse it evenly throughout the solution. It's pretty good. See it against a white background. You can zoom in on that. You can see there's lots of spores in the syringe. Yeah. Alright. So what we're gonna do is just pretty much a walkthrough of how to use the deep freeze, and at the same time we're gonna test viability 6 years after being frozen. With each order you get a sterile water syringe. A lot of people don't read on the website of what they're supposed to get or what it is, so they call and they're confused. This is to follow through after your spore syringe. So you don't need very much of this. You really only need like 2 or 3 drops into your substrate or your agar, and then you would follow through with a few squirts of water to disperse the solution, as this is a very concentrated. Okay. Alright, and I have undone the parafilm that wraps it. So now I can actually wipe the needle with alcohol before using it. I usually like to flame sterilize before, but I didn't really have anything ready here, so we're gonna have to just do it like that. Into the hole, like always. Squirt a very small amount. There, that's it. Okay, now in the next hole. Squirt. You see it build up? That's it. Next one. That's it. And I'm probably overdoing it in the amount, but not by much. Okay. And then you can or not do the middle hole. And we can wipe the needle between each jar too. I'm trying to do small amounts. I'm not very good at controlling myself with tiny amounts. I usually always put a lot, but with this, really, you only need like 2 drops. Alright, so I used about a cc, tiny bit more. You guys could do better if you guys are used to inoculating with small amounts of spores. Okay, then the water syringe. Right where you see your solution, right there, you do a quick and hard and fast squirt, like that. And again in the same spot. Boom. That's it. There. Boom. Alright. Alright, that's it. I'm gonna label the jar 3/16/07 deep freeze, and then today's date. Put it 6/13. Alright, we still have some left over, so what I want to do is Earth's Tongue claims that it also has heat resistance, so I want to test it to its limits and see exactly how hot we can get this, and then it still work. So we have an oven preheating at around 130 degrees. We're gonna put it in there for about an hour and then take it out. There's a thermometer in there, so we'll prove the temperature, and then we will use it again. So it would have been frozen 6 years, then put it in an oven at 130 degrees for an hour, and then we'll see if it works. Alright, so we have preheated the oven. I was going for 120 and between 120 and 130, and it's at 120 right now, so we're going to go ahead and place it in there. As you can see in the thermometer. I'm going to place it right there next to it. And then we're going to close it, and an hour later we're going to take it out. And I chose 120 because 120 is about the hottest it would get in somebody's mailbox if it's sitting out in the sun. I just wanted to add the time so that we show that it's been in there for an hour. So we'll check back at 5:37 and we'll take it out. And just to show real quick that it's still in there, show it real quick. Hurry. Okay. And we'll be back in an hour. Alright. Right now it's 6:07. We actually left it in there a little bit longer. So now it's been in there for an hour and a half. Technically almost 2 hours because I insisted on keeping on showing the time on camera when we started, but it had already been 20 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it, show that it's still at the right temperature. It's actually over 120. It's around 125, and it's warm. It's very warm. We're gonna go ahead and use it now. So I'm gonna pause the video and then head over to where our jars are. Alright, so here we go. Here's our deep freeze slash over 120 degree Spore syringe. The reason I picked 120 degrees is because most places do not get over 120 degrees in the summer. The hottest days are, you know, in 100 and below 110, but there are places that it gets to almost 120, but it's very rare. And then we left it in there longer because I thought, well, in a really hot day, usually 3 o'clock is the hottest, and so let's say it's sitting in the truck or whatever, being delivered to you, or maybe even in your mailbox, between 3 and 4 o'clock would be the hottest times. So let's say it did get to 120 for 2 hours or almost 2 hours. We'll see what it does if it withstands that kind of temperature. 125 degrees is where it was at when we left it. So let's go ahead and test it. Same way. And you receive 110cc per type that you receive. If you buy, for example, 3 different types, then you will receive 3 different 10cc syringes. And you just have to, you know, calibrate it so that you have enough for anything that you're gonna use. So ahead of time, go ahead and plan ahead of time. I guess I didn't do too well this time. I think I already did this one. Alright. Okay, that's all 3. Go ahead and label these. So what should we do is label with 3/16/07 deep freeze plus 120 plus today's date, and just put like 2 hours. Alright, we're done for now. The deep freeze and the deep freeze plus 120. We're gonna go ahead and store them, and we'll come back and check in with the video in about, I would say, maybe 5 days, see what's going on. I'm gonna store them away in a dark, just room temperature place. That's it for now, and see y'all in the next part of the video, which we're gonna put together with this one. So that's it for now. Alright, we're checking back in with you guys. It's been 5 days, just like I promised you, to check back on those jars. I actually took a peek in there after 3 days, and there was some germination, but I wanted to wait a little longer so we could catch it better on camera. And I'm just gonna go ahead and take them out and show y'all the progress so far. Before I do that, and before I forget, I do want to show that it's been 5 days. We started on the 6th, and now it's the 11th. Yeah. Alright, so to film these is kind of difficult with a camera, but we can try our best. Right there, you see a pretty nice germination. Right there. Right there. And right there. Okay, these are the ones that were frozen for 6 years. This one right there. I need light. This one, it's there, but it's hard to see. This jar is a little waterlogged. I didn't see that before I grabbed it, so it's having a little trouble. And this one, I don't really see. Oh yeah, it's in there. It's really hard to see on camera, this one. Anyways, the next one, this one's easier to see. Right there. A big one right there. Right there. There. And I think that's all. Oh yeah, I think I grabbed the same one. There's the other one. Right there. There. And there. Okay. So frozen. Now we're gonna see the frozen, and then 2 hours at 120 degrees. These have small germinations, but they're there. See, they're not all germinating. This one. Okay, it's right there. I don't know if you can see that. It's very little, it's right there. Yes. I had them pinpointed, now I lost them. Let me see the next one. Okay, right there. Yeah. And right there. I don't know if I already showed this one. Maybe it's the same one. And then this one right there. Very light germination right there. You can see it's starting. And this one right here, you can see it right there. And this one's in there in the inoculation site, starting to grow, barely in there. I don't know if you can see that. No. Okay. This one, can you see? It's actually on the side. So that's why when we spray the water, it disperses the spores more, so it doesn't just stay right there. You can see the germination right here on the side. Can you see that? And the next one right there. Yeah, okay. And I think that's it. We're gonna check back with y'all a little later, maybe in another week, and we'll do another quick video. And that's it for today. Hello folks, this will be the last update for this video for the deep freeze syringe. It's been exactly 10 days since the inoculation that we did. To show the date, it is now June 16th. Exactly 10 days has passed, and we will show the progress on the jar so far. Alright, let's start with the deep freeze only frozen. We have good germination and rhizomorphs on the edges. Rhizomorphic growth. And this jar was a little bit waterlogged. I did not notice that when we started the video, so but we do have germination in all the sites. The other ones I would say are at about 40% done, maybe 35, 40. Okay, now for the frozen and heated to 120 for 2 hours. We have good germination and rhizomorphic growth. All 4 out of this jar. Third and fourth. Can you see it? Good germination, good rhizomorphic. Last jar. Right there. Little one there. Every single inoculation site in all the jars is growing well. So that is the results for the deep freeze. This just shows that the deep freeze does what it's supposed to do. You're able to freeze it for a long time. Well, why would you want to do that? Well, first of all, to preserve genetics, number one. Keep in mind that, I know I already said this, but spores in dry form or in liquid form do not last any longer than 4 years. If you get beyond that point, germination rates drop dramatically. Even at 4 years is kind of pushing it. So this way you can actually preserve the DNA and the genetics of the species or the strain that you want for a very long time. This test proves 6 years. My estimate is a minimum of 10 years with the deep freeze. Now, as far as the heat resistance, that's just an added bonus in case from shipping or anything where it has to be like sitting in a mailbox or in the truck for prolonged periods of time during the summer. Got you covered. You don't have to worry about that. The deep freeze allows for a pretty high amount of heat resistance, and obviously the cold is actually preferred. Here at Earthstone, we actually store all our deep freeze syringes in the freezer. So they're not just sitting in our refrigerator or where the other Spore syringes are. They're actually in the freezer the whole time. When they go out to you, they've already been frozen. Another plus, I would say that we do have a customer who says that he can inoculate 22 half-pint jars with one deep freeze syringe, which is pretty impressive. Again, like I said, I'm not as good with the doing minute amount of spores, but if you can, just 1 or 2 drops, that is all you need, and you could inoculate a whole lot of jars with one syringe. So you get what you pay for. And that's it for this video. Just another innovation from Earth's Tongue.